Olivia and Leilani sat in the corner, away from the DJ and the dancing. They were posing, really, and trying not to stare at the B-list celebrities or the two young models doing lines with indie sleaze soft boys. Liv licked the salt from the rim of her margarita, sucked on the lime. Next to her, Leilani was vaping cherry vanilla and leaning back, her legs crossed at just the right angle, bronzed and long in her snakeskin heels. There he is. Leilani's breath warm on her ear, tilting her head toward a guy in a black suit. Dior? Liv asked. Raf Simons. Liv could guess the designer of a dress from a city block away, but she was still working on her familiarity with menswear. He's harder in person. Leilani looked like she wanted to eat him. You're after a new job, remember? Not a hookup. Couldn't hurt. It was the Los Angeles Designer Showcase closing night gala, and they weren't really meant to be here. Leilani had swiped the invitation from her boss's desk. She'd said he wouldn't notice. He wasn't noticing much of anything at the moment. She expected he'd be back in rehab by the end of the month, which was why she was after a new position. For the past 6 days, Liv had been interning at the showcase backstage, stripping $1,000 outfits from models and then redressing them before the bridge of the song finished. It was where she'd met Leilani, a model turned PA. They'd been going out every night after raps, bonding over free drink cards at the festival pop-up bar downtown. They'd talk about guys and bitch about the designers. Leilani would wrap her arm around Liv's shoulders, rest her cheek on her head and say, "You're fucking great, Liv. I'm so glad I met you." And Liv would beam. She'd moved to the US from Australia with her family a few months ago, and this was her first real friend. The move was meant to be a fresh start, and after flunking out of fashion school and then getting into partying, she needed one. But it had been hard going back to living with her parents at 22, after years of living with friends. She'd started staying at Leilani's every other night. It was nice to reclaim a bit of independence, to wake up late and make coffee together on the stovetop and not have anyone breathing down her neck. They were on a 2-drink maximum for this party. Even though she'd be staying at Leilani's, she still had no intention of getting the slightest bit messy. She was going to meet people and network and be seen so that when she applied for an apprenticeship, she wouldn't be just another desperate, hopeful nobody. She looked perfect. She knew that. She'd driven over to Leilani's place with a bag of clothes, but ended up wearing something of Leilani's from her modeling days. A romper in a thick blue satin that shone like the ocean. She hadn't thought it would fit her, but in fact it was snug on her curves and looked sexy and expensive. They'd taken caffeine pills so they'd still be clear-headed when the party turned to dregs, and everyone started opening up about their last failed relationship and the hole inside them that felt so big. It was going to be a great night. We should mingle. Leilani snapped up onto her heels. She reached out to Liv. Come on. Everything hurt. Liv's brain kick-drummed inside her skull. Her stomach buckled. She turned over on the couch, retching. Leilani would kill her if she puked on her floor, so she swallowed the bile back down. Her eyelids smarted as she blinked them open against the late afternoon sun pouring into the room.